Meine Damen und Herren, einen wunderschönen guten Morgen. Es tut mir leid, dass ich Sie gleich erschreckt habe. Wir werden jetzt schnell noch schauen, dass wir den Ton ein bisschen angenehmer, leiser hinbekommen. Ich darf Sie ganz herzlich begrüßen hier bei der ZeroCon am dritten Tag, dem Freitag. Und traditionell mittlerweile ist der Freitag auch der Österreich-Tag. Das heißt, wir werden hier im Raum M3 Sessions haben, die den Schwerpunkt auch haben, in Österreich inklusive Beschäftigung voranzutreiben. Mein Name ist Andreas Onea. Ich werde hier die Sessions anmoderieren, ich werde sie begleiten und wir haben gleich mit der ersten Session eine internationale Session. Das heißt, ich werde gleich in die englische Sprache wechseln. Wir werden die Session auf Englisch abhalten. Sie haben die Möglichkeit, sich eine Live-Übersetzung zu holen. Hinten gibt es die Geräte dafür. Das heißt, wenn Sie eine Übersetzung aus dem Englischen ins Deutsche brauchen, dann holen Sie sich gerne Ihr Übersetzungsgerät. Ich sehe, mein Panel ist auch schon bereit. Wir widmen uns dem Thema Inclusive Employment, a global issue that concerns us all. Und wir haben heute 3 großartige Projekte hier, die alle 3 zu den Zero Project Awardees gehören, ausgezeichnet wurden. Und das Ziel ist, hier einen Austausch zu schaffen, zu zeigen, was international möglich ist und wie wir das auch nach Österreich bekommen. Ich werde jetzt auf Englisch wechseln. So, ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you to the Austria Day at the Zero Project Conference here in our conference room M3. We will look at some amazing international projects that show that it is possible to employ people with disabilities in different settings. And we want to exchange and to see how we can implement those projects and the examples that they are living for us in Austria. So please welcome with me our 3 speakers. They have already taken their seat. I present to you Tim van Wyk. He's the founder of Pirmas Blinas from Lithuania. He will present to us after he got his round of applause, his self-sustaining restaurant based on inclusive employment and internships. We are looking forward to that. We also welcome the marketing manager from Auticon Germany, from Auticon Deutschland GmbH. Her project is an international ICT service company, expands based on its employees with the autism spectrum, so she will present how they are doing it. Welcome, Ursula Schem. And we are also very proud and very honored to have the Recruiting and Employer Branding Director from Kaufland, Romania. I'm always very proud. My parents are from Romania. I know that the Romanian market is amazing, a lot of amazing people. And she will show us a comprehensive and steadily growing way how you can employ people with a disability in a leading food retail company. Estera-Emanuela Angelescu, a warm welcome to you as well. So just for the context, every speaker will have a time for the presentation. Please, if you have questions, you can write them down. We will have a Q&A session after all presentations so that we can have time for discussion with all 3 panelists and use the time wisely. And with that, I give the stage for the first presentation to Tim. Thank you very much.
Thank you for the introduction. Hi everyone, I am Tim. I represent a social restaurant called Pirmas Blinas from Lithuania. I here have a picture so that everybody knows where is Lithuania, in case you don't. I am Dutch, and in the Netherlands I worked in a bakery for around 3 years. In that bakery we mentored around 20 guys with a disability. During that time I met my girlfriend, she's now my wife, she's Lithuanian, and that's why I moved to Lithuania. When I arrived in Lithuania, I saw that there is not really people with a disability in the streets, in the shopping malls, in the buses, and for sure there were no initiatives, work-related initiatives for people with a disability. And I thought with the experience that I have from the Netherlands, maybe I can start something up, like a small cafe where we can integrate people with disability and show society that these guys can actually work really properly and add something to society. Then a bit fast forward, and in 2018, we opened our doors of our social restaurant. We did this as a business, not an NGO. We therefore did not receive any subsidies when we opened. because we had no subsidies and we did not have that much family money, we had to do it relatively cheap, and we chose therefore pancakes to be on the menu. That is because the materials to make pancakes are relatively cheap. Also, we wanted to attract children and families. Pancakes with that fit very well, we thought. Our name is Pirmas Blinas, which means first pancake. That's a saying in most of the countries, I think, and in Lithuania as well, so it also had a nice context there to have this name. When we opened, we had a lot of attention from the media. A lot of newspapers came, radio, TV. The mayor came in the first week, I think. The president came after a couple of months to our restaurant. So from social perspective, we really did well in the beginning. There was a lot of talk about our initiative and also why it did not happen before, why a foreigner had to do it. And so that was great. But what we also saw that business-wise, it was still very, very difficult. We really struggled. And after 1.5 years, we had to think, what are we going to do to actually maintain the business? And we decided to make Christmas presents that we offered for companies. And in the first year, there was one company, and they ordered 2,400 presents, if I'm correctly. I immediately said, yes, we will do it, but we actually had no idea how we had to make them. So we had to close, we discussed with the whole team, we had to close our restaurant for about 5 weeks just to be able to make these presents. We did it on time, we delivered everything on time. We were very happy because business-wise this was really needed. Then in January, we got a lot of messages from people that had received these Christmas presents, and that was not just from our city, Vilnius, the capital of Lithuania, but also from other cities. And the messages, they were like, wow, guys, what amazing that you do this. We didn't know this existed, but when we are in the neighborhood, for sure we will visit. People started to ask, maybe you will also come to our city and do something similar. Then we will support you. So we saw that these presents were not only very good business-wise, but also for the social aspect of our business. So from then, we decided that each year we had to make a new product so that we could offer the same company as last year, just a different product. Now we have, I think, 20, 30 different kind of products that we can put in these Christmas boxes. Not everything we make ourselves. We also work together with other companies. For example, we roast coffee in a roastery, small roastery. We drive every 5 or 6 weeks with our employees. We drive there, and the owner of that roastery, he's teaching our employees how to roast the coffee. This way we can say it's our coffee, so we can sell it as our coffee, but also our employees, they actually learn not just how to bake pancakes, how to serve, or how to pack these Christmas presents, but they also now know how to roast coffee. We do this the same with kombucha that we make ourselves and with a whole range of other products. And therefore it's very successful for us. We also have cooperations with other social organizations, mainly around these Christmas presents. There's, for example, a daycare center. They have bees outside. They collect the honey. We buy their honey. And we are also putting that in these Christmas boxes. And this way we can distribute, let's say, money, tripling down to also smaller organizations so they can profit as well from what we are doing. We organize lessons about Down syndrome. We do this together with the Down syndrome organization in Lithuania. We invite classes to our restaurant. The lesson is being done by the Down syndrome organization, and we end these lessons with our employees with Down syndrome serving pancakes with chocolate for all the kids. So for sure, this is the best lesson of the year that they have. So they have a very positive image about our employees. In 2021, we moved our location into an old church. The church is very interesting. It has 3 floors, and we have the first floor, the ground floor. The church is on the 3rd one. The priest is very popular. Therefore, there is a lot of people wanting to get married in that church. And when they got married, we then do, as you see on the picture, We then do the champagne tables with snacks, so that gives some extra income as well. We make lunches on locations, also for conferences we can do. We wanted to do it here, but it was a little bit too far to go to Vienna all the way, so we didn't do it here. But conferences like this, just a bit smaller, we would be able to do. And then we have, of course, group celebrations, because we are a restaurant, so if there's birthdays or there's company parties, especially around Christmas, we have a lot of them in our location. Then, all together with all these activities that we do, we are now a self-sustainable restaurant. It took us 3 years to achieve that. We're quite proud of that, actually. That said, we do now receive subsidies. With these subsidies, in return, we train 15 guys with a disability as interns, so we try to teach them skills. And if we think they're ready and they themselves think they are ready, we try to find them a job together with another organization. We're quite successful in that. Then, we received some rewards from the municipality, from the country on higher government level. We received an award from the president of Lithuania. Now we have an award here internationally. It's the first one, so thank you very much, everyone. And there is 2 pictures that you see. This is the Queen of Belgium visiting our restaurant. This was 2 years ago. This was for sure the highlight of all of our employees. We have this picture, the one above. I think all of our guys have this picture in their living room, so do I, by the way. So we're very proud of that. Most proud we are of our employees. They endured so much during their lives, and they're so motivated to come to work. They're so happy to do it. And without them, we would not have the business, and I would not have been here as well. So that's what I wanted to say. Thank you very much for listening.
Thank you, Tim. You deserve your award, the one you got in Lithuania, but also the one you got from Zero Project. Thank you for the presentation. Thank you for showing us that it's possible in a sustainable way to see employment for people with disabilities as a business opportunity as well, and also the change you're doing in society. So thank you very much. I've noted some questions. I will come back with them after the second and the third presentation. And now I will give the stage to Ursula Schem from Auticon Deutschland GmbH.
Thank you, Andreas. And I'm very happy to be here, and I'm very proud that we are one of the awardees. And our topic is neurodiversity. Neurodiversity is the variety of neurological conditions, which means it includes autism, it includes ADHD, it includes dyslexia, and other conditions which are not the conditions of the majority, the neurological majority of people. Auticon is today on 3 continents in 15 countries. We have around 575 employees, and more than 75% of these employees are on the autism spectrum. So this is our specialty. This is a special place to work for me, and a special model which is just successful, and I will show you why. Our vision is a more inclusive world and equal career opportunities for people on the neurodivergent spectrum. The founder of Auticon in 2011 is a father of an autistic child, and he found out that most of the autistic persons he met were very intelligent, highly qualified, but unemployed or underemployed. And so he founded a social enterprise with the help of social funds. So what we earn, the money we get as a revenue, is directly going into the salaries, the careers, the education, trainings for our workforce. We have the mission to show other companies the strength of autistic persons and that it's worth employing them and that they get a real return on investment. It's not only a social sustainability point. It's really something you can get revenue from and be successful in your company. And for that, we share our expertise and our knowledge with other companies. And we work with big companies all over the world. The expansion for the international presence started already in 2016. We had built up 6 locations in Germany until then, with the help, of course, of our clients, which were open to this experiment to try and work with the autistic specialists that we employ. And today we are really a big company and the largest company, the largest employer of autistic persons worldwide. What we do is we specialized on IT services because this is an area where a lot of autistic strength can be involved, such as pattern detection, logical thinking, analytic way of thinking, solution orientation. All our services, which are mainly data quality, software development, cybersecurity, AI, for example, these services also always support and leverage the strength of autistic persons. So we would not include services that are not typically suited for autistic persons. We want really our clients to profit from the strength and from the skills of our workforce, and this is what our clients want. They want someone who helps them with their IT projects and by that understand the worth of neurodiversity. And a lot of our clients understand that and say, hey, we want to be employer for autistic persons too. So around 2 years ago, we started really sharing our knowledge and started another business area where we give workshops, trainings, coaching to other companies to enable them to be employers for autistic persons. What is our secret? We work with job coaches. These job coaches are the core of Auticon. They support mainly our autistic consultants, IT consultants, but they also are sparring partners for our clients. So they start every project with a briefing on autism, on neurodiversity, so that there is a basis where we can build on. The consultants that we have, they come in the IT projects at our clients, and everybody knows that they're autistic. And the secret is, then it's no problem. It's no problem that someone says, I want a quiet place. I don't want to go to the party tonight. I don't want to shake hands. It's no problem if you just tell the people why it is. And then they understand, and then it's okay for them, and our consultants really can concentrate on their strength and on their IT skills and make the project successful. We also have project managers. They look at the technical side of the projects and support both our clients and our consultants on the technical, in the technical area, and just do a very good matching of our consultant skills and strength and the client needs. What we see every year in an impact report that we do and surveys among our employees and our clients is that it really works, and it works worldwide. Most of our employees have been unemployed before they joined Auticon, a lot of them more than 1 year, a lot of them even more than 2 years. And we see that they flourish. I have colleagues that started at Auticon and were in depression, very shy, very small, and they grew. After 6 months, they were completely other persons. They had they were confident, and they got the feeling that they are worth it. And this is so much so important for the persons. And they feel valued and they can be their authentic selves. And this is really great. And for me, it's a pleasure to work with these people every day. And also our clients, they just state that there is really an impact on their projects. The projects are getting better, are being conducted faster, the performance is better, the quality is better, but they also see that their teams understand the worth of neurodiversity. And that's our mission, and this is what we want to spread, the word we want to spread, and tell you, just try it, it's worth it.
Thank you very much, Ursula. Can't wait to touch on those different aspects that you brought in, especially on the impact that working with you and your clients has on your employees. And now let's look into a completely other branch of business. We're going into food retail, and I will give Estera-Emanuela the stage.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everybody. I'm very happy to be here today with my colleagues, Delia and Stefan. They are here also present in the room, and we are really happy to get an award here also last night. Today I want to tell you about our Kaufland Access program. For the one that do not know Kaufland, it's a big retail company, part of the Schwarz Group. We are internationally present in 8 countries at this moment. In Romania, we started our businesses in 2005, and later on we also were in charge to open the Republic of Moldova. We started the program in 2019 with the national context that we have around 850,000 people with disabilities in Romania, out of which 54% of them actually have the right to work, but only 11% are actually also employed. So the numbers are really way below the European Union average, which lies at 47.8%. And we decided that in that context and in our business context, where we open around 10 to 15 markets every year in Romania, with an average of 100 new colleagues that we need for our new locations, we also face a pretty high turnover in retail of around 30% in Romania. And there was also a pretty big number of money that we also have to pay as a big company to the Romanian organizations. So if we do not employ enough people with disabilities inside our company, we have to pay this fund to the authorities. Unfortunately, this money is not invested anymore in things that the people with disabilities need. So this fund actually goes into a common fund, and the state uses it for whatever they consider it necessarily. So it was not a problem to pay that fund, but we decided to do a little bit more and involve ourselves for the people with disabilities to design actually some opportunities for them to get access to a normal life, a social normal life, to also be financially independent and also get out of their homes, because in Romania there is a symptom that people with disabilities rather stay at home, do not have a job, do not get out, do not enjoy life. So we designed this project out of the HR area, so it's not a CSR area, and we went with it to the board of directors and convinced them to let us do this project with a really high target of recruiting in the first stage 500 people into our company. We managed to do this, and last year we also celebrated 5 years since we started the Access program. We really reached that number, and we won't stop here. I want to also share with you today what we actually did. So after we convinced the board, we also took the chance to get our colleagues into our mission, because we had to convince a little bit also the different departments to be part of this project. We designed together with them jobs that could also be taken by people with disabilities. We trained them, we organized workshops with different NGOs on the market that helped us also understand how we have to talk, how we have to give feedback to people with disabilities, so that managers are not afraid to hire them. We also accompanied them during the interviews and also after the people were hired. So we are in touch with them also now and do a lot of surveys that can also help us, and they do help us improve the program. And 5 years later, we have, as I said, 500 colleagues in our Team Kaufland. They are employed in our 180 stores all over Romania, in the 2 logistics centers and in the headquarters. In average, we talk to 60 candidates with disabilities a month. We had over 1,500 interviews. And what we also noticed during the process was that it was not enough just to hire, just to organize specific job fairs for them. It was important to be present in all their activities. So we also pushed a little bit more our colleagues from sales to also adapt our stores better for our customers with disabilities. We are very often present at a lot of sport events that are designed for people with disabilities. We partner up with also fashion shows for people with disabilities, and yeah, last week, for example, we also had our first ski camp in Cheile Grădiște in Romania, maybe you know it, and there also my colleagues got a chance to really ski. Delia also tried it out. And our colleague George, an ex-rugby professional player, he is now unfortunately in wheelchair. He also had the chance to ski for the first time on himself. So, 2023, we also decided to expand this beautiful program to the Republic of Moldova, and it is also a success there. We have, at this moment, around 45 colleagues with disabilities that joined our local activities. Moldova is a little bit smaller as a country, so actually we do not have so many people employed in total there, but 45 people is a very good number for the local market. How we did it from the recruitment and employer branding perspective, we organized during the pandemic the first accessibility hackathon in Romania, where teams could develop solutions for people with disabilities to actually have access to the Romanian job market, but also really get integrated into the companies. We also registered a lot of videos with our team members where they could also present their perspective on having a job. You can also see George here, my colleague that I was mentioning before. Last year, we also did the first TikTok campaign for the Gen Zs, because I think that it is also important to involve them in our mission. And we had the Kaufland Dance Talk. It was actually a job ad that was being danced for people with hearing impairments, so that they know that we have opportunities for them to join our Team Kaufland, and people also dance this trend, and we got more candidates, and we also managed to hire them. Last year we also had the Access Caravan through a lot of Romanian cities, where we talked with candidates and also our own employees, and saw what we could further do. And we are also proud to be member of the Value of All 500 partnership. Yeah, the other ones I mentioned. And if you want to get more information about this project, we really are happy to share with you. If you connect with us on LinkedIn, you can find me under my name, and yeah, Kaufland Romania. And for the ones that you are here, and if you want to know more details, we can also catch up during the break. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Estera-Emanuela. Very interesting to see, because every time I'm in Romania, I go to Kaufland. Very interesting to see the impact you have on the regions, and especially on people with disabilities. So now we have enough time to get into a discussion, to have your questions answered, not only on LinkedIn, but also here on the stage. So if you have a question, just raise your hand, give me a sign. We have someone from the team who will help us with a microphone so that we can answer your questions. I will start with some of my questions and then, of course, have the opportunity to answer your questions. I will start with Estera-Emanuela. You talked about the turnover that is specific to retail at around 30%. Do you have any numbers of the turnover of people with disabilities? The thinking is that people with disabilities stay more loyal to their employer. Is this something that you see in the years that you have been active in this field?
That's very true, and yeah, we also looked at the numbers, and I would say that there is an average of 2 to 3 years at least that the people spend in our companies, in our company, if they are really treated well. Because if the team and the manager understand their needs and adapt their jobs, then they stay. But if they don't feel really integrated and appreciated, then every one of us, they decide to leave the company. So we also had some examples where we learned from, where they did not feel proper and they decided to leave, but they helped us develop the program further, and yeah, I think that we took the necessary measurements that such things don't happen in the future.
You presented and you told us that you also learned that you had to be on the field with them, probably to adapt to some things so that they feel welcomed and appreciated.
And I would add one more thing. I think from the HR perspective, it is very important to also learn ourselves from people with disabilities. And I'm really grateful for my colleagues, Delia and Georgia, because they taught me a lot. And they taught us as a team a lot also. So yeah, it's important to get in touch and stay in touch with them also after they are hired. So just hiring, it's not enough.
Thank you very much. It's nice to see that it's not just to fulfill some numbers, but also to integrate and be there for them. We already have a question. I think it's the one with the green shirt. Yes, exactly. You can also ask the question in German. If necessary, I will translate them into English. So, do you have a microphone already? No?
Jo.
Yes, perfect.
Ich hätte eine Frage an Ursula. Die Frage ist, Sie haben doch erwähnt, dass deutschlandweit wegen Autismus eben halt gearbeitet wird. Und meine Frage dabei ist, warum in Deutschland aber so schwierig ist, eine Diagnose zu bekommen.
So thank you. Just before you answer the question, just so we have it on the protocol in English as well. So you work with people with autism in Germany, you employ them, but the question was, why do you think it's so hard in Germany to get a proper diagnosis of autism? Thank you.
Yeah, that's a good question, which I unfortunately can't answer completely. But yes, you are right. It is hard to get a diagnosis. Still, a lot of psychologists, medical persons, therapists don't know exactly how to diagnose autism. And on the other side, often autistic persons mask themselves, which means they try to avoid that someone recognizes that they are different. And this masking is, it gets so natural for them that they sometimes even don't know how not to mask. And this is one of the reasons that the diagnoses are hard to get. Additionally, obviously, there are not enough places where you can get the diagnosis. But we saw that it's getting better. We have a lot of colleagues that have been diagnosed quite late, when they were 30, 40, even 50, which is awful because the complete life before for them was a riddle. Why am I so strange? Why am I feeling like an alien? And this, of course, it causes depression, it causes burnout, it causes anxiety. This is awful. We see that today a lot of children are already being diagnosed and being included. They get much more support and much more help, which is great, but still, of course, it's hard to get the diagnosis, yes. Is that okay as an answer? Unfortunately, I can't change the situation in the medical area, but with what we do, we try to just raise the awareness in the complete society. That's what we can do.
Thank you.
I see a nodding, and we heard a thank you, so thank you very much, Ursula. Is there another question from the audience? Yes, we have a hand raised. Just open your microphone on the table and ask your question.
Vielfalt, Arbeit, Auswahl.
In Deutsch
Ja.
oder Rumänien?
Maybe.
Genau, also die Frage ist, wie viele Menschen in Rumänien arbeiten bei Kaufland?
Ja.
Oder? Genau.
Wir haben zurzeit 17.500 Leute, die bei Kaufland Rumänien arbeiten. Und in der Moldau rund um 600.
Danke vielmals. Thank you very much. As you can see, we are multilingual as well. So at Kaufland Romania, we have around 17,000 people working in Romania, and I think 600 in Moldova. Yes. And as I remember, around 500 of all of them are people with disabilities.
500 are people with disabilities, but we are heading now, so we want 500 more to join us in the next period. So we have a new target.
Thank you very much, and especially knowing that there is a rate of 11% of employment at 850,000 people with disabilities, there is a lot of room to get those people, so thank you for your efforts. I saw a question at the second table.
Tim, I can see you're a businessman. What are your plans? What is your vision for your coffee house idea for the future? Are there any goals?
So, first of all, I think the model that we have is really possible to copy or to extend to other branches. I'm just businessman. I'm not really businessman. I studied social work. I had to learn by many mistakes. So I don't think I'm the right person to actually expand it. The expansion that we have in our minds is, for example, with these Christmas presents. This year we would like to cooperate with a social organization from another country, from Italy. So that would be kind of expansion for us, but it's not that we will actually move to another city or move to another country. If somebody is interested in doing kind of the same things, also locally in our country, I'm always willing to talk, to explain, to meet, to show what we do, how we do. Because most of the time, people that would like to do something like this, they come from the social side, let's say, and they do not always understand the business aspect of what we do. And if somebody would like to start something like this, I always advise to have one person looking purely at business, and one looking purely at the social side. And then together, they have to find a compromise of what they're going to do and how they're going to do it, because without the business, the social side disappears directly, but without the social side, the business side also doesn't work. So that would be my advice, and that's also what I always say to people that are interested in it. As I said, unfortunately, most of the time people interested are coming from the really social background, and they do not have the know-how how to actually start it as a business.
Thank you, Tim. Just before you your second question, I have a follow-up question. So is there a possibility to, it sounds like you have some processes in place to be able to run it as a business, to franchise the processes, the brand, the product catalog, to do something like a franchise to be able to scale up faster, not only in Lithuania, but maybe in other countries as well?
So we don't have the actual things, the paperwork ready, let's say, but I think what we do is quite clear. There's not a lot of very complicated stuff going on in what we do, so I think it's really possible. If we sit for a month with someone that knows how to do franchise, it's absolutely possible.
Thank you, Tim. I think Michael has a second question.
My second question addresses all three of you. Are there most important and time-intensively topic is to identify and match the proper people. Are there any support from the public in your countries on that? Not only financial support, I mean man and woman power support.
Maybe start with Ursula. So.
We have a good network, of course. We work with a lot of autism organizations, with a lot of medical persons, therapists, and well, since 2011, we have built up a kind of good name in this autism scene. So most autistic persons that are engaged in their autism, actually, they know us. But still, we do a lot of communication work, press work. We are quite present in the media, not only to present Auticon, but
you do it alone. You do it alone, more or less, then, or?
Yes.
You don't have any support from the public side?
No.
No, it's financial support, yeah, but
financially, we of course we work with funds, we work with investors, but I understood that the question was in how do you find your people, and this is something that we just do on our own.
Okay.
Thank you, Ursula. Let's look to Kaufland.
So we do not have special support from the state, unfortunately. I told you about that money that we have to pay as a big company. So we do not pay the amount of money that we paid before, but the investment that we do as a company into this program is actually much higher than we paid actually for that fund. So there, you can say that we have we don't pay so much back to the state, but we reinvest that money actually in salaries that our colleagues get and facilities and support their social life much more. When I look at the NGOs, unfortunately there is a trend now that they act like headhunters for people with disabilities, and they pretend a lot of money from companies when they see you are coming from Kaufland, you have enough money, maybe I can ask for a person to be employed in your stores around 2,000 euros or 1,500 euro, money that we don't pay also for managerial positions. So it's actually unfair to ask that amount of money when they see that, okay, we want to hire actually 500 people more. So we do our own recruitment. We try to, so it was more complicated in the beginning where there was nothing on the market. So the program now is pretty known. It was also much awarded locally and internationally. And I think people know that we have our open position in the store, in the headquarters, in the logistics centers. And at this moment, we focus more on our employees as being ambassadors of our program. And through their stories, we also multiply actually our program. I don't know if I answered your question, but yeah, yes. That's the status of Kaufland at this moment. And the program is only in Romania and Moldova, so we also want to inspire other countries, other Kaufland countries, Lidl countries, Pre-Zero countries, that they can also learn from this project and also do it into their countries.
Thank you very much. I see Michael nodding. So Tim, it's your turn.
Question also for me, yeah. So we have 15 interns, and that these guys we have with the project, and for that we have a social worker that is subsidized by the ministry, so that we have. Other than that, we have to earn all of our own money to pay all the salaries and the rent and everything. What is in our country a big thing is that it's very, very hard to find a social worker that also kind of understands that, you know, we are working in a restaurant, in a business, we need to do certain things You know, everything we do, we want to do well. If a customer comes, we want them to come back as well. So the food has to be the same good as other places. The coffee the same way, how we serve the same way, how everything looks the same way. And somehow it's very difficult to find the social worker that also feels responsible that, oh, I actually have to teach these guys with a disability how to work properly. It's not okay if you bring soup and there is spilled soup on the side. It's not okay, you have to bring it back. Somehow in our country it's very difficult to find this person. I'm actually wondering if that is in other countries as well. We now have a very good team and the guys we have are you know, really focused on this as well, but it took us really long to find us the correct people for this. So it's half answering your question and half asking another one.
Absolutely, thank you.
Thank you, Tim. Thank you, Michael. I see a hand raised. I give over for the question.
Ja, vielen Dank für den interessanten Vortrag. Ich habe noch eine Frage, auch an euch alle drei, und frage mich, welche Überlegungen dazu unter Umständen angestellt werden. Betont wird ja auch immer die hohe Loyalität von Mitarbeitenden mit Behinderung und langjährige Treue und hohe Verlässlichkeit etc. Aber ein Teil der Normalität ist ja auch, so bezogen auf eine ganze Lebenskarriere, dass man auch mal den Arbeitgeber wechselt. Also das ist ja auch etwas, das wir wie im Sinne einer gerechten Welt, in der alle Chancen allen offen stehen, ja auch ermöglichen sollten. Und was für Überlegungen stellt ihr dazu an? Also inwiefern ist es sozusagen, klar, hohe Loyalität, ganz wichtig und hoher Wert, aber inwiefern gibt es auch Bestrebungen, Menschen Arbeitsplatzwechsel, Arbeitgeberwechsel auch aktiv zu ermöglichen?
Thank you for the question. So I will just shortly repeat it in English as well, so we have it on the protocol. So loyalty, of course, is important. We see that in people and employees with disabilities, but for a normal life, being employed, there's a normality as well to change your employer. How are you facilitating such employment changes and actively supporting your employees with that?
I will start. I think that it's a new trend, but it shouldn't be necessarily adapted to everyone. When I look at myself, I spent the last 20 years at Kaufland. So I am actually employed there before they opened the first market in Romania. And I had a lot of opportunities to learn new things, to change my department, to develop myself inside the company. So Kaufland is really lucky to have a lot of opportunities where people can develop inside. But I can understand that there is also a trend now, and also maybe smaller companies, they can't really offer that opportunities. And I think it is also important to be open. And we had also some challenges since we started the program itself, because some people did not match any of our jobs. So we really went into the market and also tried to help those ones to find the job that they needed. But yes, we are lucky enough to have a lot of different areas.
Thank you very much. Are there perspectives from Germany or Lithuania as well?
Yeah, I can proceed. Thank you. Well, for us, it is important, an important fact that really nearly 80% of our workforce are on the autism spectrum. So it's a community, and this is something that is really important for our employees, and it's something they can't find at other companies. And for a lot of them who know that maybe as a really high qualified software engineer, they would get more money in other companies, they say, I will stay with Auticon because they do something that I don't like to do. They explain to others that I'm autistic. And this for me is so worthy that I will stay with Auticon. But of course it happens that someone is very happy with his project and with the client, and the client is happy with our consultant. And in that case, in Germany, we say we let him go with one eye crying and one eye laughing and wish him good luck. So it's okay. What we do is a very intense and comprehensive recruiting process. So we really check if someone fits to Auticon, and if Orticon fits to the person, and we have quite a very low fluctuation.
Thank you very much.
I'll answer it as well. So yeah, our guys are super loyal actually. We have over the past 5.5 years, we had 2 guys that left our companies for another job. One came one day and he said, Tim, I found my ideal job, it's in McDonald's. And yeah, fantastic, right? I mean, he moved on, he learned enough and he thought he's ready and he's still working there 3 years on. So yeah, fantastic, we could employ someone else. So it was a shame we lost him, but yeah, we employed someone else. With these interns that we have, so you know, we really try to find them a job somewhere else if they are ready. So there we have a higher turnover of people, let's say, which is also great. It's what we would like to do. And yeah, having an internship or a job is a big difference. Of course, you want to have a job with a normal, regular payment. I would do the same if I would be them. And if one of them goes, we have another intern. So yeah, that's the whole thing, what we would like to achieve.
So getting a job somewhere else opens up the spots that they were on, so more people with disabilities get into employment chances. So it's a cycle that we want to encourage. We have a little bit of time for one short question and one short answer. So if there still is one question, I think from Stefan.
Yes, good morning. I'm going to be very short. So my question was how sustainable, and it's very short the answer also, for the 3 of you, how sustainable do you think your actions are from 1 to 5? 5 being really, really sustainable. You can go over or lower, but you can give me a number if you want. And thank you very much for everything you presented.
I would say 4.8. We just have to improve with the Christmas presents. And if we do that every year, we have new products and we can make something interesting, then we are, then we're good.
I think we nearly hit the 5. We are in the market since 2011, and the model that we have is just successful in 15 countries. And we see, I think what is really important is the feedback from our employees and our clients. And this is what makes me feel it's quite sustainable.
Ursula is a marketing manager. She has
But I'm also enthusiastic about this company.
Thank you. Ursula?
I'm not that positive actually. Although we did a lot, we still have a lot to achieve further, and the bigger the company is and the more people we get in touch with, it's not only the people with disabilities, it's also our own colleagues, our own managers. Yeah, I would say around 3.8, 3.9 maybe, but yeah, there is a lot of work to do, and to get that high quality that I wish for the program, we still have some steps to do. So yeah, and I'm really a critical person, so maybe you put it into the context.
In this case, 3.8 is very, very good. I will learn from your framework of...
That was an HR answer.
Perfect. You will report back. I will learn from your framework of asking to get answers from 1 to 5. It's perfect to finish on time. Thank you very much to Tim van Wiek, to Ursula Schremm, and to Estera-Emanuela Angelescu. Thank you very much for your presentations and the discussions. All the best to you. We will have a little short break of a few minutes just to change for the next session. The next session will be in German about technology for all. So see you in a few minutes. Wir machen eine ganz kurze Pause, hier den Rahmen zu wechseln. Punkt 11 geht es weiter. Und da schauen wir uns Technologien für alle an, hier beim Österreich-Tag. Vielen, vielen Dank. Bis gleich.